Hi, I'm Lynn Langett, continuing on taking a look at the beta of Hadoop on Azure. Now, you've set up your cluster, and I think I said the wrong number of nodes, so I just did the max nodes. I think it's 32. And you have different sections here we can do stuff. So you have your tasks, which are MapReduce jobs, and they have a bunch of examples that you can run and see how they work. You have your cluster, which is the administrative stuff, and manage your account, which is also administrative. So first, the happy news. This is all free, so if you get on the CTP, during the CTP it's free. Obviously they're going to charge when they go RTM, but it is a limited beta, so you have to reach out to the product team to get on. Then you've got a job history section in the bottom here. We can see all the jobs that have been run and if they've succeeded or not. So you can see I've been running lots of different kinds of things. I've been running Hive queries and some of the examples and sorting examples just to see how long things take and just playing around with it. So you can see your job history in the bottom. They've got 9 different samples, and I've found as this thing has progressed, there's been more samples added. So we'll look at these like in more detail in another video. And then we got downloads. So the downloads are a Hive ODBC driver and the add-in for Excel, which we'll also show in another video. And then we have the how-to and the FAQ. Now again, this is an early beta, so the FAQ is pretty incomplete. When I was taking a look at it here, some steps are written out, like how to set it up, how to run some jobs and things like that. But when you get down to some of the things like importing data, that's not quite filled in yet. So very early in the beta, but just keep checking back. I'm sure they'll update this. So let's go to the administrative section. So in the manage cluster, we had seen that you can configure your connectivity to S3 or Amazon or to be able to bring in data, but no documentation on how to do that yet. And so that's that. And the next thing in here is opening ports. And this is for opening for FTP interactivity. Again, not documented, so not sure how to do it. ODBC is for connectivity to the Excel add-in. So basically just click this to open the ports, and it's a slider. So you slide one way or the other to open or close it. Again, pretty simple at this point. By default, it's closed, of course. And then the next part of this is you have this interactive console, which we're going to look at in the next video. But you can also remote desktop in. So if you click this, you get a remote desktop file, and you can just click it to open it. So for the purposes of the video, I'm actually already connected. So you can see inside of here we got a Windows server. So this is you can see the configuration of the server, and you can see it's lynnlangett.cloudapp.net. So you're actually remote desktoping into your server here, and it's Windows Server R2. And what the team did is they have a version that runs of Hadoop that runs on Windows. So that's what you're doing here, obviously. So a couple of things that they have that you can look at on here is they have the Hadoop MapReduce information and the name node information. So again, I just opened these things up just so they wouldn't take long in the video. They're basically web pages that reveal information. They're JSPs about your Hadoop instance. So you can see it's running and it's from an administrative standpoint. You can see the health, if you will, through this web interface. And there's other ways to administer Hadoop, but this is the way the Microsoft team implemented. So you can see I have 32 nodes. I can see the health of the different nodes. So this is from a administrative perspective, how you would really look at this. You can see jobs that are run. Sorry for the scrolling here. Let me go back over. So if you've got running jobs, because of course Hadoop is a distributed environment for running jobs, so they can take a really long time. Then the other thing that you have in terms of the interface is you have the name node tracker, so you can actually go and browse the file system here. Let me click on that, and you can see where that goes. And then as this is coming up, and I'll go to the name node logs, you can also, you have a command prompt. So you have a Hadoop prompt, and I'll just bring that up really quick like. So you can RDP in, lots of ways to work with your Hadoop on Azure instance. In the next video, we're going to look at the interactive console. This is Lynn Langett. For more on all things data, www.lynnlangett.com.